If you think this movie looks too depressing, then this movie is not for you, and I honestly question if you're even a Spider-Man fan. So the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day just dropped yesterday, and I'm gonna need your thoughts on it in the comment section below. You can also check out my reaction over on my Instagram, but man, did this trailer ever speak to me personally, and I feel like I'm gonna have an interesting take in this video, and I honestly think that this is the video that Gen Z, and especially young Gen Z men, need. We all know that we are living in some extremely rough and depressing times for a lot of people right now, and I know and have seen a lot of people are losing hope, giving up that they will ever live any semblance of a decent life. You know, the housing crisis, the job crisis, the loneliness epidemic. There are so many things that is just weighing down and making it really hard for people, especially this recent year. And at least from what we've seen from the trailers, this seems to be capturing all of those feelings perfectly through Peter Parker. His life looks like absolute hell. His girl is taken. No one knows who he is. No one remembers him. He looks depressed as shit. His apartment looks like shit. I mean, look at this one shot. Peter has been through a lot. My fucking god, I couldn't be happier to see him at his lowest. It genuinely puts a smile on my face. Just continue to hear me out, because I feel like this movie is at its core going to be an extremely hopeful movie. I mean, it is called Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think this is going to be about Peter refinding how to live a life for himself away from Spider-Man and be happy again. Or at least that might be the overarching story throughout this new trilogy. And I think this is something that we really need right now. Spider-Man is a character that almost everyone has looked up to since they were kids. Since they could remember anything, Spider-Man has been there for a lot of us. He's a character that so many can relate to and see themselves going through, and to see Peter in this movie at his absolute lowest, like rock fucking bottom compared to where he was in Spider-Man Homecoming, I think is going to be extremely inspirational and help give people the push they need to keep trying and keep moving forward for some better days ahead. Seeing somebody like Spider-Man, against all the odds, continue to get back up and do the right thing, and not only that, but after the entire world forgets who he is, still try and live a life for himself. I think that's going to end up being a really beautiful story that is going to help a lot of Gen Zers see through the tough times that they're going through and have some hope that things will get better. But Peter's suffering is not all this trailer had to offer us, because there was phenomenal Spider-Man swagger and action all throughout this trailer. You can really tell that in the universe, Tom's Spider-Man really learned from Tobey and Andrew, and this new director has a vision and has a style like no Spider-Man we've seen. It genuinely feels like a mix of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Mark Webb's amazing Spider-Man films coming together to create the ultimate Spider-Man. And just knowing the fact that they tried to go as practical as possible with this movie, as we saw from all that behind the scenes stuff that came out when they were filming in London, just adds that extra level of realness and just pure amazement when watching the movie and these clips, because for that day, Spider-Man was real. None of this is like CGI stunt work. No, they actually put this motherfucker on the side of a tank and said, let's do this shit, and I could not appreciate that any more than, I don't even know where I was going with that, but it just makes me feel so good to see that and to get rid of all the stupid CGI fighting and all that crap. I'm glad that we're starting to move back into practical use with stuff like One Piece and Spider-Man. I can only hope that this trend continues with so many more shows and movies, because it just helps to add that realness. The less CGI, the better. And not only that, but same with my compliments to One Piece Season 2. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out if you've seen Season 2. The action and fight scenes and style in this, not only is it super stylish compared to the home trilogy, but so much of this feels like I'm looking at a comic book come to life, and that is what I want from my comic book movies. No one wants that grounded, oh, this wouldn't work in reality, oh, this, bro. These are fucking comic book character. This guy was bit by a radioactive spider. There's a guy that can turn into a giant green monster. Luffy is a stretchy man like Mr. Fantastic. Fuck realism. Go with the comic book craziness and the fans will love it, and we're seeing that with this trailer. There are so many shots that just Spider-Man has that aura, that comic book pizzazz, where it gives you that same feeling as when you were a kid and you first picked up your first Spider-Man comic, or you watched Spider-Man for the first time on Cartoon Network, or saw your first poster. That wonder, that awe, that just, oh my god, that is my hero right there. That is the feeling that this trailer gives. And you also have to love the details, like the flapping and folding of the suit, really making it feel like an actual suit that this guy made, compared to the Homecoming suits, which were riddled in CGI. Honestly though, I like the Homecoming suit. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it is a great looking suit, at least the behind the scenes one when they were using it in like Civil War and stuff. The CGI does kind of ruin it, but I still like the suit. I don't hate it as much as most people. For me personally, I think Andrew Garfield's TASM 1 suit is the best though. That shit is gorgeous. As a Walking Dead fan, I'm also really happy to see Jon Bernthal on the big screen. He's returning as the Punisher in this movie, and I think his chemistry with Tom Holland already looks super fun. Maybe we'll even see Spider-Man show up in Daredevil Season 2, because it does look like they've run into each other a couple times at this point. But if my boy Jon Bernthal does not drop the let me tell you something in this movie, I want my money back. I want my money back. I also have a little bit of a theory when it comes to Hulk's role in the movie. I 100% think that Bruce Banner or the Hulk, one of the two of them, most likely the Hulk though, still remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. How all that worked, don't ask me. I just think he remembers him. How? No clue. Not a single clue in my mind. Maybe it's something to do with like the Hulk being a different personality, and since he was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. Suppressed, that's the word. Since the Hulk is kind of like suppressed in Bruce Banner, maybe the spell didn't affect him, so he still remembers Peter Parker is Spider-Man. If he knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, pretty sure he knew. Pretty sure. I'm also not 1,000,000% sure on how I feel about Peter having organic webs in this movie. In one aspect, I think it's really cool, and it gets rid of the question of how is this broke-ass college student affording not only an apartment in the Big 26 by himself, but how is he affording all this stuff to make his web shooters? So I feel like giving him the organic webbing just kind of gets rid of that question entirely and doesn't even make you think about it. But also it kind of removes that element of Peter's character where it's like, damn, he was smart enough to cook up that shit on his own? He is a genius. And lastly, I did want to mention that the CEO of Sex is back. Very happy to see him. There were rumors that he wasn't going to be in the movie, so I'm very happy to see Ned back in here because he was a hilarious character in the Homecoming trilogy. As well as I like that him and MJ are trying to figure out who Spider-Man is. You can kind of see the little like conspiracy theory whiteboard in the background there when she calls Peter a friendly neighbor. I see what you did there. This is all just extremely, extremely exciting, and 4-ish months left until the movie drops. You can bet your ass I'm gonna be sitting in that theater day one. I'm so ready for this movie. But now once again I pass it off to you guys. What do you think of the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer? Are you excited? And what did you think about my take in the beginning? Does this trailer give you a little bit of hope yourself? Are you happy seeing Peter Parker absolutely miserable? Let me know down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Pirate Hunter Garmadork, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.
You're gonna forget who I am.
What?
Forget who you are? What are you talking about?
It's okay. I'm gonna come and find you, and I'll explain everything.
You promise?
Yeah, I promise.